I'm here today with Virginia Sloan, who's president of the Constitution Project, an organization which brings together a lot of different groups from different political persuasions, left, right, and brings them together on civil liberties issues. Jenny's had a long career in Congress with the American Bar Association, so you know your stuff. First, I want to talk to you about our concerns and some of our other speakers. You just spoke to our students in our summer intern program. President Obama promised a lot of things, and on civil liberties issues, some of us and some of the other people I've interviewed on this program have been concerned. Are you concerned about the direction that the Obama administration's headed in terms of civil liberties?
I am, and the Constitution Project is, and I want to say first that we're pleased to work so closely with the Rutherford Institute on so many of these issues. It's I think, a perfect example of the way that we can bring right and left together to advocate for these kinds of concerns. And yes, we are concerned about the direction that the Obama administration seems to be taking on issues related to closing down Guantanamo, military commissions versus federal court trials for people who've been accused of terrorism offenses, suggestions that they're going to create a preventive detention system. We're very concerned about those kinds of issues. We're also concerned about issues relating to transparency, for example, the state secrets doctrine.
It looks like to me, Obama so far, and again, some people have called him Bush Part 2, maybe not that far, but Guantanamo, that issue. Why don't you summarize that issue and why you're concerned about the closing of Guantanamo prison?
Well, the day after he was sworn in, President Obama issued an executive order saying that he was going to close Guantanamo by January of 2010. And I think we all celebrated, we all cheered that executive order. There's no doubt that it's an extremely difficult thing to do, and apparently the records relating to each of the detainees are just a complete mess. But that being said, they're trying to create a process for determining what to do with the people who are in Guantanamo, and that's where the concern comes in. They seem to be, they're talking about reviving the military commissions that were so incredibly flawed under the Bush administration.
You don't get all the questions and stuff you do in a regular civil trial, but you're advocating that civil courts handle this, which would seem
criminal
like
courts, the traditional federal courts,
regular civilian courts.
Have civilian courts. They have handled scores of terrorism cases in the past. Very successful.
Some of these people have been in jail 7 years without even being basically tried.
They've had no charges against them whatsoever.
This challenges to me. I would, if I look at it, America has always stood for one thing: rule of law.
That's right.
And that means everybody on our soil, under our care, or in our prisons, have a right to a trial and a lawyer.
That's right.
They're not getting that.
That's right. They are not getting that, and they are still not getting that under the Obama administration. And I think people were willing to give till January 2010, when he said the prison was going to be shut down. But we thought that in the meantime there would be trials of people going on, and that the trials would be in our federal. They're still sitting in prison.
What about the Uyghurs? Talk about the Uyghurs a minute.
The Uyghurs are a
Uyghurs?
Persecuted group of Chinese Muslims who were picked up, I think it was in Afghanistan. They were trying to escape persecution in China, and instead they were picked up and sent to Guantanamo, where they were accused of being enemy combatants. The Bush administration and now the Obama administration agree that they are not enemy combatants and they are not dangerous, and they should be released. But we can't send them back to China because they would be persecuted. They would be persecuted.
They just were recently persecuted in China.
Exactly. The source of the uprising in China was the Uyghurs, the Uyghur community. And no one can find a place for them to go. Congress has been engaged in fear-mongering on this issue, and they have at this point prevented any funds being used to send any people, including the Uyghurs, from Guantanamo into the United States, so we can't take them here. 4 Uyghurs were part of a deal, so they went to Bermuda. There was some talk about sending the others to the 13 remaining Uyghurs to Palau, but that hasn't happened. And so there are 13 Uyghurs who everybody agrees are innocent, who are not dangerous, but they're stuck in Guantanamo.
But our government actually allowed the Chinese to come in and interrogate them while American.
Well, that's what the news reports indicate during the Bush administration.
American troops sat around and watched it happen.
During the Bush administration, Chinese came and interrogated the Uyghurs while American troops watched. Yes.
Dahlia Lithwick, who is a senior editor at Slate, has called Obama the keeper of Bush secrets. Nat Henhoff, the great legendary civil libertarian, now calls Obama George W. Obama. There's a sense that he is continuing the Bush legacy, especially in terms of the state secrets privilege. Why don't you talk a bit about that?
State secrets privilege, as you know, is a doctrine that allows the government to come into court and say, we cannot release certain information because it would violate our national security, and this case has to be dismissed. And that's not the way the state secrets privilege started out. It started out as what's called an evidentiary privilege, where the government would say this evidence can't come in, but it didn't say the whole case had to be dismissed. Now, the Bush administration and the Obama administration has continued this policy of coming in and saying this whole case has to be dismissed. And in particular, there's a case where some people who were illegally wiretapped, or claim they were illegally wiretapped, have wanted to sue the government for that. And the executive branch has come in and claimed the state secrets privilege, and has asked that the case be dismissed.
So they don't get their day in court.
They don't get their day in court, and this is something that we thought would change under the Obama administration, but they seem, for the moment, to be continuing the same policies as the Bush administration, an overbroad assertion of this privilege that prevents people from getting their day in court.
If this continues under Obama, and this is my last question, what do you foresee in the future?
I can't answer that because there's a part of me, well, all of me, hopes that this is not going to continue. We know that there is a review at the Justice Department of the assertion of the state secrets privilege. We know that there are reviews of how to close Guantanamo. And I have to be an optimist and hope that we're going to be able to turn things around, and that the promises that President Obama made during his campaign and that he's made since then are going to come to fruition.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, John.